All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back for another deep dive with us. Today, we're going to be tackling something that I think affects all of us pretty much every day: online shopping. We're going to be diving deep into the psychology behind it all, unpacking some myths about what we as shoppers really want. I mean, we've all heard it right. Price is everything. Free shipping. That's the magic bullet, right? Well, our source material today: what shoppers really want. Debunking e-commerce myths. It suggests that it's not that simple. Like, you ready to maybe have some assumptions challenged?
Absolutely. Let's kick things off by tackling that first myth. Price is king. Seems logical at first glance. The cheaper, the better.
Right, makes sense to me.
The data actually tells a more interesting story. Shoppers are often willing to pay more when companies offer certain things. Things like ethical sourcing, super fast delivery, even just cool packaging. Packaging that aligns with their values.
Okay. That makes me think about this bamboo toothbrush I bought recently. It was definitely pricier than the plastic ones. But that whole eco-friendly thing, that really got me. I was like, suddenly those extra few dollars just didn't seem like such a big deal.
Yeah, that's a great example. It's like a shift from just purely thinking about the transaction to thinking about your values.
Yeah.
You're not just buying a product at that point. You're buying into the brand's whole ethos.
So it's like
Yeah.
there's that deeper psychological thing going on.
Exactly.
Okay, so maybe price isn't the only factor, but what about free shipping? Isn't that like the holy grail of online shopping?
It's definitely a powerful incentive, no doubt. But what shoppers really want, it suggests there's more to the story. What really matters? It's fairness, it's transparency, those surprise shipping costs at checkout. Total turnoff.
Ugh, tell me about it. It's like you're all ready to check out and bam, surprise shipping fee. It's like,
Or worse. Right. It feels like you're being tricked, even if it's a small fee.
yeah.
But if a company's upfront about shipping costs, if they offer fast delivery, real-time tracking, that can actually be more appealing than free shipping.
So it's about feeling in control, not like you're being taken for a ride. Okay, myth busted. On to the next one. Reviews don't really matter. Come on. Who actually reads all those reviews?
More people than you might think. Over 80% of shoppers actually read reviews before buying something.
Really?
Yeah, it's this thing called social proof. Basically, we look to what other people are doing to decide what WE should do.
Makes sense when you put it that way.
It's like a digital word-of-mouth recommendation.
So, okay, some reviews are fake, some are biased. How can we as shoppers know which ones to trust?
Good question. Look for the details, not just, this is great. You want reviewers who've actually bought the product. And give you the good and the bad. Don't just read a couple. Look for a good spread of opinions.
Be a savvy online detective. Okay, this is where I think things get really interesting. The emotional side of online shopping. I always thought it was all about logic, finding the best deal. But what shoppers really want, it suggests there's more going on under the surface.
Oh, absolutely. Shopping in general, it's driven by emotion.
Even when we're just clicking around online.
Even then, think about it. Brands tell stories. They want us to connect with them on an emotional level.
Okay, yeah.
Personalized recommendations, those can make you feel seen, understood. And then there's FOMO, the fear of missing out,
Oh man, FOMO gets me every time.
the powerful motivator,
Yeah.
especially with all those limited time offer banners.
Don't even get me started.
It's called scarcity marketing. Plays on our fear of missing out on something.
So those flashing banners, it's not just that they're annoying, they're actually like triggering a primal instinct in us.
Pretty much.
This is blowing my mind.
But hey,
Yeah.
once you understand these tactics,
Yeah.
you can actually use them to your advantage. Make more conscious choices.
Okay, so we've busted some myths, explored the psychology. Now let's get practical. What features really matter to online shoppers? The make or break stuff.
In today's world, mobile optimization is non-negotiable. People are shopping on their phones more than ever. So, if a website is clunky on mobile, slow to load, forget it.
Yeah, I've definitely been there. Zero patience for a slow website.
Studies show over 50% of mobile shoppers will abandon a site if it takes more than 3 seconds to load.
3 seconds. Wow.
Security is also huge EE. We want convenience, but not if it means risking our personal information. Secure payment gateways,
Yeah.
clear privacy policies, essential for building trust.
No one wants their credit card info floating around out there.
Exactly. And clear policies in general are so important. Shipping, returns, refunds. No one wants to be surprised.
Makes sense. So it's about transparency.
Building confidence.
Okay, we've busted some myths, explored the psychology, we've got the features that really matter. So
Oh, wow.
how can businesses and e-shoppers use this information to their advantage?
That is the million-dollar question. For businesses, It's about using data to truly understand their shoppers, not just tracking clicks and purchases, but understanding the WHY behind those actions.
So not just what people are buying, but why they're buying it.
Exactly. Analyze behavior, predict trends, personalize those recommendations. For example, offering flexible payment options like buy now, pay later. Huge for today's shoppers. And of course, sustainability. Not just a trend. It's a core value for a lot of people these days.
So businesses have got their work cut out for them. What about us shoppers? How can we use this knowledge?
Be mindful. Be aware of how you're reacting to those marketing tactics. Are you buying something because you actually need it? Or are you being swayed by FOMO? A clever ad.
Ooh, that's a good point. Guilty as charged.
We've all been there. But if you can recognize those triggers, you can make better choices. Also, prioritize security and transparency. Look for secure payment gateways. Read those shipping and return policies.
Be informed.
Exactly. And remember, your purchases are a vote. Support the brands that align with your values.
It's about being an empowered shopper.
Exactly.
So it's about putting our money where our values are.
Yeah, it's like we're casting our votes with every click.
I like that analogy.
And those votes, they shape the future of e-commerce. Now, there's one more myth we need to debunk, and this one might surprise you.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
Okay, so the myth is that there's one perfect formula for e-commerce success.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
It's tempting to think what works for one online business will automatically work for another, but that's just not true.
So you're saying, like, blindly following trends or copying competitors?
Not always the best strategy. The most successful businesses out there, they really get their audience, they know their strengths, what makes them unique, and they understand what really drives those purchasing decisions.
So it's about finding your niche.
Exactly. Don't try to be everything to everyone. Data is important, but it's got to be used strategically, ethically.
Yeah.
It's not just about collecting information, it's about understanding what it all means.
It's about the human element.
Right.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah, me too.
It's not just about algorithms and automation. It's about connecting with customers on a human level,
You got it.
even in the digital world.
Even then.
So it's about businesses thinking less like robots and more like humans.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
Empathy. Authenticity. Actually wanting to serve your customers. That's what makes you stand out.
I love that. In the end, human connection is what matters.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've debunked some myths, explored the psychology, hopefully given you all a lot to think about.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
We'd love to hear from you. What resonated with you? What surprised you?
And most importantly, how are you going to apply these insights? Whether you're shopping online or running an e-commerce business,
We're all in this together.
learning from each other.
So keep the conversation going. Share your thoughts in the comments, on social media.
Wherever you hang out online.
We're always listening. All right, folks, that wraps up our deep dive into the world of e-commerce.
Hope you enjoyed the journey.
Before we go, one final thought-provoking question.
Now that you know what really influences online shoppers,
What are you going to do differently next time you're shopping online?
will you be more aware of those emotional triggers?
Will you look more closely at security and transparency?
Will you support those brands that align with your values?
The choice is yours.
But remember, every click is a decision.
And those decisions.
They shape the future of e-commerce.
Until next time, happy shopping.
And if you want to learn even more,
Be sure to check out our source material, What Shoppers Really Want, Debunking E-Commerce Myths.
you'll find a link in the show notes.
It's full of amazing insights.
Whether you're a shopper or a business owner,
Okay, before we officially sign off, I gotta know, what's next? Any hints you can drop about our next deep dive?
let's just say, we've got some exciting topics lined up. They might just change the way you see the world.
Sounds intriguing. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it.
Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.
See you in the next episode. I gotta say, I'm feeling pretty inspired after all that, to really rethink how I shop online.
It's amazing what you discover, huh? When you really dig into these everyday things
It's like we pulled back the curtain on the whole e-commerce world.
and saw the machinery working.
Yeah, exactly. And now that we know how it all works, we can be smarter shoppers.
More in control.
Exactly. Well, this brings us to the end of our deep dive. Huge thank you for sharing all your expertise with us.
Always a pleasure. Love talking about this stuff.
And, of course, a huge thank you to all of you listening for coming along on this journey with us.
We hope you learned a thing or two.
And maybe even change the way you think about online shopping. If you're eager to learn more, be sure to check out the source material we mentioned. What Shoppers Really Want: Debunking E-Commerce Myths. Links in the show notes.
It's a great resource for shoppers and businesses.
So, until next time, happy shopping, everyone!
May all your online purchases bring you joy
And value.
and maybe even a little mindfulness.
And remember, every click you make,
It's a decision.
choose wisely.
See you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone!